Hello, everyone, and I am back doing something very late yet again. Uh, new UA come out for one D&D. Hooray. And simply put, it's an interesting one. It's basically going back over what UA 6 did, being the fighter, sorcerer, warlock, wizard, and barbarian. But something to note is that they did rework quite a bit of spells. But let's just go over them really quickly. So base class Barbarian, not much has changed. Danger Sense is now back at level 2. Now works when you're blinded or deafened, which is awesome. Which Danger Sense is? Here it is. Yeah. You have advantage on Dexterity saving throws, provided you aren't incapacitated. Yep, pretty neat. Then Reckless Attack now gives you advantage on strength-based attack rolls until the start of your next turn, which means an opportunity of attack can benefit as well. So, yeah, that's nice. Other than that, it's just Tasha's cauldrons being moved around, that stuff. Brutal Critical has returned to what it was. Relentless Rage is now back at 11. Persistent Rage is now at level 15 again. And the Unconscious Condition, not the incapacitated condition, such. Yeah. Yeah. And then Indomitable Might returns to 18th level, and it now applies your strength saving throws and strength checks. That's really nice. So, which we'll go over that one. Oh, that's too far. Indomitable Might, you use your strength score instead of your whatever correlating stat it was. Just simply that. Your Roid monster. Anyways, Path of the Berserker. Intimidating Presence, that got changed, which is as a bonus action now. And yeah, not much to say on Berserker other than not as bad as it used to be. And then Path of the Wild Heart, which this used to be the Totem Barbarian. So I'm just gonna read off of the design hatch notes because there's just so much to go through. So you can cast Speak with Animals, essentially, which I literally said, yeah. Yep, and Wisdom is your correlating spellcasting modifier for that, which is, pretty nice. And then your Rages, Bear, when you get it, you can choose, an animal. It's Bear, Eagle, and Wolf off the bat. Bear no longer gives you resistance to everything but one damage type. Which is completely understandable why they took that away. It was horribly strong. Horribly, horribly strong. But you get to choose two damage types instead. That's still pretty good. Because honestly, you're probably choosing something like cold or fire. Because, those are very common damage types. Maybe lightning if you're really, facing a lot of stuff dealing lightning damage for some reason. But the ones I can see being chosen the most are fire, cold, lightning, and necrotic. Just because those are very common damage types. Or at least that I see. You guys may have different experiences. Now, Eagle lets you take both the dash and disengage actions as a bonus action when you activate your rage and just normally. And then the Wolf just increases your speed by 10 feet. Oh, and your allies have advantage on melee attack rolls against any enemy of yours within 10 feet of you. Hack tactics! Hooray! Um, Overall, Its level 3 got nerfed a little bit, but it still has good options, and Bear is no longer the de facto best. It's now situational. Oh, and you can no longer choose... Oh, you can't choose force damage as one of your resistances as well. That is something to note. I didn't know they put that in there. Weird. Then, at 6th level, you get Aspect of the Wilds, which was used to be known as Aspects of the Beast. You now have Elephant, which was Bear, now gives you proficiency in Athletics or Insight, gaining Expertise if you already have proficiency in them. Pretty neat. Then Owl was Eagle, and now grants proficiency in Investigation or Perception, Expertise, if you're already proficient, and then Spider, same thing except for Stealth or Survival. Again, it's just the same thing, just renamed things. I believe. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. But anyways, yeah. And something to note, yeah, they did rename the animals. They're no longer just the 3 of them. Because there was confusion on, like, whether or not you chose one and you had to stick with that one all the way throughout your, experience as a totem barbarian, but now they clarified that by basically saying, no, all the names are different, which is hilarious. Nature Speaker used to be called Spirit Walker. Commune with nature. Wisdom is your spellcasting modifier for it. Yep, same old, same old. Power of the Wilds was originally called Totemic Entombment. Lion, which was formerly Bear, is no longer stopped by the immunity to the fear condition, which while your rage is active, any of your enemies within 5 feet of you have disadvantage on attack rolls, or have disadvantage on attack rolls other than you, or another barbarian with this feature. And Falcon, while your rage is active, you have a flying speed equal to your speed, provided you aren't wearing any armor. Fair enough. And then Ram is... Guess what this does? While your rage is active, when you hit a larger, smaller creature with an attack, it must succeed a strength saving throw or be knocked prone. Yeah. Which Ram used to be the wolf and require a saving throw, or not require a saving throw, but use up your bonus action. I think this is a perfectly decent way to do it. It just makes sense. And it's a 14th level ability, so it's not that bad. And the only thing I find weird about this is it isn't once per turn. It's just when you hit. So, weird. Then, of course, the flying speed. Who doesn't love a flying barbarian? Anyways, the World Tree. This is a new subclass that they added that makes barbarians angry with the power of nature, is the best way to describe it. So at 3rd level, you get Vitality of the Tree. When you activate your rage, you regain a number of hit points equal to your barbarian level. In the start of each of your turns, while your rage is active, you can choose another creature within 10 feet of yourself to gain temporary hit points. To determine this, you roll a number of d6 equal to your rage damage bonus, which would be +2 at this level, I believe, and you add them together, and those temporary hit points remain until your rage ends or they vanish. In other words, you take a long rest, or, you get the shit kicked out of you. Then there is branching of the tree, or branches of the tree. While your rage is active, whenever a creature you can see ends its turn within 20 feet of you, you can use your reaction to summon a spectral branch of the World Tree. Around it, the target must succeed a strength save, or be teleported to an unoccupied space you can see within 5 feet of yourself, or in the nearest unoccupied space you can see. The space the target teleports to must be a surface or liquid that can support it, otherwise the target does not teleport. So no weird cheesing, but yeah, it's a weird little battlefield manipulation ability that I actually kind of like. Though it is, I mean, it's a weird thing because it uses up your reaction, and sometimes you kind of want your reaction to be used for something else, like making sure someone doesn't escape you with Sentinel and whatnot, but I don't know. I feel like the first couple of turns in combat, this will definitely be pretty helpful for you, but once you already have someone like in front of you, you kind of don't want them to escape. But I can see scenarios where you pull someone else to you and let the other guy go. Anyways, oh, and yeah, as a little note, because, it's right here, might as well mention it, you can pull allies as well, because you can voluntarily fail saving throws. That's always been a thing. Anyways, do with that information as you will. Battering roots. Tendrils of the world tree extend from your melee weapon. While you wield any melee weapon, your reach of that weapon increases by 10 feet. And when you hit with it, you can activate the push or topple property, even if you're using another mastery property with that weapon. That was a weird way to say that, I think. I don't know. So basically, all this does is increase your range by 10 feet. So you now have a minimum of 15 feet of an attack range. 20 if you're using a pole arm. And you can shove someone 5 feet, I believe, and knock them prone. Is what push and topple do, if I remember correctly. Holy shit, that's a big range for a melee fighter or just a martial character to have. That's huge. I don't see. Here's the thing. I can easily see this being chopped down to 5 feet because that's a large range. Like, granted, I'm into it. I'm definitely into it. And, you only get one reaction per turn, so it's not like it's horribly overpowered, but still, it's. You definitely. This subclass kind of thrives in controlling the battlefield, which I'm really into, because I think, in my personal opinion, Barbarian is the most boring martial class there is, just because bonus action rage, you hit things. That's all you really do. But this definitely gives you a lot more priority and a lot more decisive thinking that needs to be done. So, yeah, that's what I like about it though. And then at 14th level, the capstone ability for the subclass as an action, you can touch a huge or large tree or a teleportation circle to create a link through the world tree to a teleportation circle somewhere else in the world or on another plane of existence. And when you do so, you can specifically target a destination in general terms, such as the city of Brass on the elemental plane of fire, and you and up to 5 willing creatures within 30 feet of you appear at the teleportation circle closest to that destination. If a teleportation circle is too small to hold all the creatures you transported, they appear in an occupied space closest to the circle. And you can't use this again until you finish a long rest. And if you run out of uses of this feature, you can expend 5 uses of your rage to activate this instead of rage. Yeah, you have just a straight up teleport. And it sends you to basically the general area, or the closest you can get, essentially. Which I think is fucking hilarious, because I love the idea of a barbarian Just going, alright guys, let's go, and touching a tree and teleporting everyone into some random wizard's tower. And just like, we're here. Not knowing exactly where, but knowing that you're close to where you need to go. I just find that hilarious. Overall, though, Path of the World Tree, definitely strong. Definitely very strong. But also really cool. I really like it. I think it's a very unique, just in terms in general for a martial subclass. It's very heavy on controlling the battlefield, which I'm super into. That's what I love about playing martials. It's controlling the battlefield with them and doing all that cool stuff. But yeah, it seems really good. Seems like it will be fun. Seems like, in my opinion, quite a few people would like it. Then there's the Path of the Zealot, which Divine Fury now allows you to determine the damage type each time you deal the damage. I need to read that then. Warrior of the Gods now includes the ability to regain additional HP when healed by a spell or magic item. Zealot's Presence now allows you to be used multiple times between long rests by expending uses of Rage, and then Rage Beyond Death now turns you into a warrior spirit after you successfully use your Relentless Rage. Okay, let's go over those. So, Divine Fury. Last time, whenever you hit once with a weapon attack, you roll an extra d6, and it was necrotic or radiant, and you dealt more damage. This time, you channel your power, blah blah blah. While your rage is active, the first creature you hit with a weapon or an unarmed strike takes an extra 1d6, plus half your barbarian level. Extra damage is necrotic or radiant. You choose the type each time you deal the damage. Isn't this just how it always was? Or am I crazy? I'm probably crazy. Anyways, continuing onward. Warrior of the Gods. A deity helps you ensure that you continue to fight. When a spell or magic item restores any of your hit points, you can roll a d12 and regain additional hit points equal to the number rolled. You can use this a number of times equal to your con modifier, and you regain all expended uses after you finish a long rest. In addition, if a spell such as Raise Dead, same old, it doesn't require material components. This is neat. You're a lot tankier with this. I don't really think Barbarian needed something like this, or at least the Zealot did. But I mean, like, yeah, it's neat. Anyways, Fanatical Focus. If you fail to save, you can re-roll it. This is the same, right? Not that they did. Yeah, they didn't do anything to that. Then Zealot's Presence. As a bonus action, you unleash your battle cry. Oh yeah. They just made this multi-use. Apologies. Jeez. Yeah. Basically you can use a rage after the first use of it and, give everyone advantage on their attack rolls again and saving throws. Did they up the range of it though? I thought it was 30 feet. Maybe they upped the range of it too. But anywho's, again, more uses of anything is always good. And then there is Rage Beyond Death. Of course, you have the following benefits. When your Relentless Rage successfully restores your hit points, you can assume the form of a spectral warrior. While you have this form, you gain the following benefits. You have flying speed equal to your normal speed. You can move through creatures and objects if they're difficult terrain. You take 1d4 or 1d10 force damage if you end your turn inside of them. And when you're hit by an attack roll, you can use your action to turn that hit into a miss. Oh. And then the form lasts for 1 minute or until you drop to 0 hit points. So they took away the So they changed it up completely. They reworked it. Okay. So now you basically get a transformation, per se, instead of just the if you're raging, you're still up and active. Weird. Anyways, fighter. They now have the fighting style change from Tasha's, which whenever you leveled up, you could change out your fighting style. Second Wind is now multi use, which is kind of scary. Then Weapon Mastery now maxes out at 6 instead of 5. Action Surge is now stated that you can use any action except magic actions, which is like casting spells using a magical item. And it improves again at level 17. Tactical Mind is a new thing, which we'll get to that in a minute. Ability and score improvements, return. Of course, then Tactical Shift is a new 5th level feature. Apologies again. The Master of Armaments replaces Weapon Expert and Weapon Adept. Indomitable is, once again, confers more uses at higher levels, which is cool. Studied Attacks is now a new 13th level ability. Unconquerable has been cut in favor of Indomitable, improving at higher levels, and the third extra attack returns to level 20. Okay, so most of the stuff is normal. Second Wind, of course, you can use this feature twice. You regain 1 expended use after you finish a short rest, and you regain all uses after a long rest. When you reach certain fighter levels, you gain more uses of it, shown in the Second Wind column of the fire table. I didn't realize you... Oh. Huh. Neat. Yeah, no, but Second Wind is a really interesting thing. It's interesting to me because it's not a lot of hit points, but it's the fact that you can do it multiple times now, which makes it a very odd thing in my head. Because now you can just pad yourself up a lot, which isn't a bad thing, not by any means. I actually quite like that. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I like it, but I'm neutral on it, I guess. And of course, Weapon Mastery. Basically, you can change out your Weapon Mastery properties. Same old thing. Action Surge, of course, got nerfed. Rip Eldritch Knight. And of course, you get, at level 17, you get 2 uses of Action Surge, but yeah. I should probably talk about this. I don't really mind the magic actions being taken out of Action Surge. Because I'll do reality. It wasn't necessarily intended to be used for magic. And that's obvious, and how fighter is built as a class. So I can't really say I'm disappointed, but also I think Eldritch Knight should have gotten something that would remedy this and allow them to use cantrips or something at the very least. But that's just me. Anyways, a new ability, Tactical Mind. You have the mind for tactics and the upper hand on and off the battlefield. When you fail an ability check, you can expend a use of your second wind to push yourself towards success rather than regaining hit points. You roll a d10 and add that number to the ability check, potentially turning it into a success. If the check still fails, this use of second wind isn't expended. That is amazing. That is fun. That is intuitive. So it's just ability checks, though? Yeah. So it's just ability checks. Which isn't bad. but it could be better. Because if it was also saving, well, then again, they have Indomitable for saving throws. So, yeah, that's fair. That's understandable, I guess. Yeah. Of course, the ability score improvements, and then second attack, then tactical shift. Whenever you activate your second wind with a bonus action, you can move up to half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. So if you really need to get somewhere on the battlefield, you can get there, which is really cool. I really like that. Yeah, I'm starting to like this new second wind themed things going on here. Then Indomitable. Oh, Indomitable gives you a bonus equal to your fighter level. So at minimum, you have a +9 to the roll, or get a +9, and you get more uses of it. Yeah. I think you always got 3 uses of Indomitable, though. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember. And Master of Armaments. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can choose any kind of mastery weapons you're using and replace the mastery properties of each with another mastery property. Okay, so this is just the yeah, you can use whatever weapon you want and use whatever property you want as well. You know, as fighters should. Then there's the new thing, studied attacks at level 13. You study your opponents and learn from each attack you make. If you make an attack roll against a creature and miss, you have advantage on the next attack roll on that creature before the end of your next turn. So as a fighter, you should never miss more than one hit each turn, essentially, is what this is saying. I really like that. Champion fighters are going to have a ball with this. And I also will have a ball with this, because, you know, I'm kind of on the fighters are cool train. I like them. They're neat. Then, of course, third level, that. Uh, classic 3 attacks. But the subclasses, Battlemaster. So, Battlemaster now gives you a skill proficiency, which is cool. Know your enemy now allows you to get creatures' damage resistances, immunities, and vulnerabilities. And you no longer have to spend a minute studying the creature to figure these things out. You now just use a bonus action, which is amazing. And now Relentless now allows is a new thing, I believe. It now allows you to use a maneuver once per turn without expending a superiority die, but that free maneuver uses a d8, which will... Oh yeah, those are all the superiority things. Okay. Yeah, because at higher levels, your thing turns into like a d10 and a d12, your superiority die. Anyways, I'm not gonna... should I... I'll just look at the updates. Yeah, I'll look at the maneuver options down there. But this just gives you the, you know, superiority die rundown. Student of War. You gain proficiency with one type of artisan's tools and proficiency in one skill of your choice that's available to fighters. And then Know Your Enemy, bonus action. Their strengths and weaknesses. If they're within 30 feet of you, you know whether that creature has any immunities, resistance, vulnerabilities. And then once you use this, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Or you could also use this by expending one superiority die. That's actually not bad. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. Yeah. So, this is actually a useful ability now, not just flavor. And you can use it more than once. So if there are 2 similar but different enemies, you know, like Myrmids or something like that, I think that's how you say that, you can, you know, just use this and figure out, you know, if they're vulnerable, immune, or vulnerable, resistant, or immune to anything. Then, of course, you know, D10, then Relentless. Then your superiority die becomes a d12. Now this. Ambush, nothing has changed. Bait and switch, nothing has changed. Commander Strike no longer uses your bonus action. So, buffed. Nothing has changed. These now just work with any kind of attack roll. Oh yeah, you had to use a melee weapon, didn't you, for all of these? Huh. Evasive footwork. Now lasts until the end of your turn, not when you stop moving. So you can now spend your superiority die, bump up your AC, and just run up to someone, hack at them, and then run away. Lunging attack now lets you take the dash action as a bonus action and adds the superiority die if you hit the creature after moving at least 10 feet in a straight line. What? Lunging just... Okay, I need to read that then. Parry now allows you to add your strength modifier or dex modifier to the damage reduction. That's nice. Precision attack now allows you to trigger from missing an attack roll, not before you know if the attack hits or not. It's nice. Rally. You can now use intelligence, wisdom, or charisma when determining the amount of temporary hit points gained. That's nice. Tactical assessment. Same thing. Okay, where's lunging attack? Parry, precision, pushing, rally, riposte, sweeping. Tactical assessment. No. Where is it? Goading, lunging. Here it is. Wait, I just lost it. Oh, nope. So as a bonus action, you can expend one superiority die and take the dash action. If you move at least 10 feet in a straight line immediately before hitting with a melee attack, as a part of the attack action on your turn, you can add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll. So this is no longer a... Unless I'm thinking of something else. No? Yeah, no, this used to increase your just attack range by 5 feet, and you would add that to the damage, but now this is literally... You are running at someone and stabbing them. Okay. This is weird. I don't know how I feel about this one being changed like this. But other than that, they all seemed the same. Or at least from the design notes. Anyways, up next is the Brawler, which is the new fighter subclass. You can roll 1d6 plus your strength modifier in place of your normal unarmed strike damage. And eventually it becomes d8. That is really good. You're proficient with improvised weapons, and whenever you finish a long rest, you can choose a weapon property from the one-handed list and one from the two-handed list till the end of your next long rest. Oh, okay, so you could basically apply a weapon property to improvised weapons and whatnot. And this is your improvised weapon throwing range. That is very weird. Very, very weird. Can't wait to cleave someone with a chair. This is just this is a weird subclass. But anyways, the 7th level ability, when you make an unarmed strike as a bonus action, you can, and when you use the unarmed strike in this way, you must choose the grapple or shove option. In addition, at the start of each of your turns, you can deal 1d6 bludgeoning damage to one creature grappled by you. Oh, okay. So you basically want to run up to someone and grab them by the throat and start punching them. That's what this wants you to do. I'm fine with that. Dirty fighting. You have advantage on attack rolls made with improvised weapons and unarmed strikes against a creature grappled by you. Yet again, you want to grab someone by the throat and start beating the crap out of them. Improve Specialist. Uh, you are a master at making the ordinary deadly whenever you hit a creature with an improved weapon. Or an improvised weapon, my bad. You can add your proficiency bonus to the damage roll, and the damage die of your two-handed improvised weapon becomes 1d12. In addition, whenever you attack with an improvised weapon, you can use 2 master properties from the improvised expert instead of 1. Yeah. So, chairs hurt. Chairs indeed hurt, and you can now cleave and push people. Chairs are a very scary thing in this game now. Your unarmed strikes improve to d8s, and if you aren't holding any weapons or a shield, when you make the attack roll, when you make the attack roll, the d8 becomes a d10. Weird. Alright, I've returned. Where was I? Oh yeah, this weird wording. This is cool. You know. I feel like it's a little late in the class to be giving it, though. Then again, there is no, like, really good place you can throw it, so... I mean, it works. It's gonna be fun. People are gonna play it and have a blast with it anyways, so... you know, as long as they're having fun, that's a-okay. Now the champion has some changes. Remarkable Athlete replaces Adaptable Victor, and it moves to 3rd level, and now grants advantage on initiative rolls and strength athletics checks, in addition to increasing long jump distance, which I completely agree with that. Which the previous ability was like a 7th level ability. It just was not great. And then Heroic Warrior now gives you heroic advantage at the start of each of your turns in combat. I don't know what the fuck heroic advantage does. Anyways, same old, improved critical. Remarkable Athlete, of course. You're an athlete. You have advantage on initiative rolls and athletics checks. In addition, making a running long jump, the distance you can cover is increased by a number of feet equal to your strength modifier. Of course, additional fighting style, whatever heroic advantage does. During combat, you can give yourself heroic advantage whenever you start your turn without it. Then superior critical. Wasn't superior critical an 18th level ability, or am I crazy? No, I think it was 15th level. Yeah. Then Survivor, yeah, because they had this weird hit point thing, right. At 18th level, you gain these benefits. Death is Defying. You have advantage on death saving throws. Moreover, when you roll an 18 to 20 on a death save, you gain the benefit of rolling a 20. That's really good. And at the start of your turns, you gain 5 hit points plus your con. If you have no more than half your hit points remaining, and you don't gain this benefit if you're at 0. So, Heroic Rally was the classic thing. But giving them basically advantage on death saves and an improved death save critical. That's really cool. Eldritch Knight. My favorite fighter subclass. No longer requires you to be an invocation or abjuration. Finally. This doesn't do a whole lot though. Because for the most part, you're only really picking up abjuration spells. And you can also change out a cantrip when you gain a level. And the fighter can use an arcane focus. Were they never able to use an arcane focus before? Maybe not. I don't remember. Then war magic, way better than what it used to be. You can now replace one of your attacks with casting a cantrip, allowing the Eldritch Knight to weave magic into their attacks. So you can basically cast, Shocking Grasp or whatever, and, then attack normally as all a part of the same action. Or attack first, then use Shocking Grasp, I guess is technically how you would do it. Which is so much better. Then Improved War Magic now allows you to replace two of your attacks with casting a first or second level spell, allowing the Eldritch Knight to further weave magic into their attacks. I don't remember any touch spells that deal damage that the wizard has access to that are level 1 or 2. I don't remember. Yeah. Anyways, this should be the same old, same old. Spell slots, yeah. You gain them when you finish a long rest. Spells prepared of level 1 plus. Level 1 or higher. Wait. Contains no School of Magic restrictions after level... Fuck, it's after level 3. You still have to... Whoops. So, when you first become it, you need at least 2 being of Evocation or Abjuration. My bad. Afterwards, you no longer need to do this. And then you can always replace spells, which is nice. Then Warbond, same old, same old. You bound the weapon to yourself, and you can summon them at any time as a bonus action, and if you attempt, basically you can't be disarmed of them. Yeah, you're cool. Then, of course, we already kind of went over War Magic, which the first level, or at 7th level, it's only cantrips, but then, after that, there's Eldritch Strike, which creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls, or not attack rolls, on saving throws against your spells until the end of your next turn. Then Arcane Charge, whenever you use Action Surge, you can teleport 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. You teleport before or after the additional action. Same old, same old. At 18th level, you get Improved War Magic, which allows you to use... you can replace 2 of these attacks with one of your wizard spells that has a casting time of an action. This specifies cantrips. This specifies spells. And only an action? So you can cast, like, Burning Hands or something like that, then. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Only thing I have to gripe with this. In either this War Magic or basically between levels 7 and 15, hell, even I take it at 18, you should be allowed to use Action Surge to cast spells. Just saying. Anyway, Sorcerer, did they get anything? Powers your innate sorcery and powers your spell attacks and save DCs. Spellcasting returns, yep. Then Font of Magic no longer requires a bonus action to convert spell slots into sorcery points. Then Meta Magic gives you 2 options at level 2 and 2 more at level 10 and 17. You can now change one of your options whenever you get a sorcerer level. Okay. Of course, so... Yes. There, that. Vitality is gone. Restoration has moved to 15th level to 5. Or from 15th to 5. Sorcerer Incarnate moved to 9 to 7. From 9 to 7. Then Arcane Apotheosis has moved to level 20. Has been redesigned to enhance innate sorcery. Okay. Innate sorcery. As a bonus action, you can unleash magic for 1 minute during that. Oh, right, this. Your spell save DC increases by 1, and you have an advantage on attack rolls for the sorcerer spells you cast. You can use this feature twice. It's pretty strong, honestly. Then Font of Magic. Of course, no longer requires you to have a spell slot. Um, you can no longer create spell slots higher than 5th level. I believe that's a new thing. I think the conversion table is kind of the same, too. Maybe? No. Maybe it is. Is it? I don't know. Um, Anyways, that's relatively the same. Meta magic, though. I don't believe you were only stuck with 2 for a while. But now you gain them as you level up, but you can switch them out whenever you gain a level, which is kind of weird. I'm not sure. And of course, level 3, you get your Sorcerer subclass. Then Restoration, after you roll, or when you roll initiative or finish short rest, you have no sword points, you regain a number of them equal to your Sorcerer level divided by 5, rounded down. Weird. Then Sorcery Incarnate, you can use up to 2 meta magics on your spells at once. In addition, if you have no uses of innate sorcery left, you can spend 2 sorcery points to take a bonus action to activate it. Neat. And then, of course, there's meta. Am I high? Does Sorcerer get nothing between level 7 and 20? Meta magic. No, they don't. Oh, well, I guess they don't. That really threw me off. Okay, Arcane Apotheosis. When your innate sorcery feature is active, you can use one meta magic option on each of your turns without spending sorcery points on it. Neat. And then, of course, this distant spell returns doubling at range. Seeking spell knock house 1 point rather than 2. A Subtle spell now clarifies that it doesn't remove material components that have a cost-specific affiliated to the spell, and Twin Spell has some of its previous language. We'll go over Twin Spell if I can find it. Transmute. Twin Spell, right here. Okay. So when you cast a spell such as Charm Person or Hold Person, that can be cast at higher level spell slots, or with higher level spell slots, to target an additional creature, you could spend 1 sorcery point to increase that spell's effect by 1. So it's kind of what it was, but it's kind of not. It's similar, but not. It's fine, honestly. That's what it is. It's fine. I was kind of in the bag of, yeah, Twin Spell is too strong. Just because, like, it was too strong. It really was. Then it's just that this, I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed about it, but this is perfectly fine for it, because Twin Spell, you can't rework something like that without gutting it halfway through. You know? That's just it. Then, yeah, that's just... I'm okay with it being like this. I know a lot of people are going to be upset and just want the original one, but personally, I'm fine with it like this. Then we have Draconic Sorcery, which we'll just go over this because I've been recording for a long time, haven't I? How long have I been recording? Nearly 50 minutes. Yeah, and I'm not even to Wizard and Warlock yet. Anyways, Dragon Speech now gives you Draconic. And while the creatures of the dragon type understand your speech, you don't necessarily have to understand them. Oh, Wings. Once again allows you to spread wings without relying on a spell. Presence replaces exhalation. This feature is now a bonus action and does not require concentration. Wings. Presence. This bonus action, you can spend 5 sorcery points to draw on this power. Exclude an aura of awe or fear, your choice, within 60 feet for a minute or until you're incapacitated. Each creature of your choice that starts its turn in the aura must spend or succeed a wisdom save against your spell save DC or be charmed or frightened of you until it is outside the aura. Okay, and then yeah, everything else is like the same. Then Wild Magic. Wild Magic got changed a little bit. Which, well, I should probably say, this is perfectly fine. It's nothing too scary. I'm still kind of scared about how high a sorcerer's AC can get, but again, they're squish, so it's fine. Anyways, Wild Magic. Where's the notes? Here's the notes. No longer requires DM permission for you to blow yourself up. Wonderful. Tides Chaos now grants you a roll on the Wild Magic Search table. Yeah, just grants you one, essentially. Bend Luck now costs 1 sorcery point instead of 2, and then Wild Bombardment, formerly Spell Bombardment, now allows you to use Wild Magic Surge effect that casts a spell or that replenishes your expended sorcery points. We have to read Wild Bombardment because that's a weird thing. Immediately after you cast a sorcery spell with a spell slot, you can create an effect of your choice on the Wild Magic Search table, provided the effect casts a spell or restores all of your expended sorcery points. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until 1d4 long rest. Okay. Fair enough. I understand that. So, Wild Magic Sorcerer is the best sorcerer there is, and you cannot change my mind. They made Warlocks charisma-based only again? Is what this seems. Pack Magic returns. Eldritch Invocations move to level 1. Oh. And you gain more invocations. Then your Pact Boon is... Right, because Pact Boons are now integrated into the Eldritch Invocations. Right, and the Magical Cunning is now a level 2 feature that allows Warlocks to quickly regain a certain number of spell slots. Contact Patron moves to level 9. Makes sense. Then Mystic Arcanum returns to being a core feature. Hex Master is gone. Oh, that sucks. Then Eldritch Master returns at 20. Yeah, Eldritch Invocations are now at level 1. That's interesting. Then, of course, your spellcasting ability is Charisma. See, I was down for Warlocks being that weird class that could use Wisdom, Intelligence, or Charisma. But, yeah, Charisma's fine, I suppose. Spell slots, blah, blah, blah. Magical Cunning. This is the new thing. If all your Pact Magic spell slots are expended, you can perform a ritual for a minute and regain half of them rounded up. Alright, and you can't do this again until you finish the long rest. Cool. Contact other plane. You can talk to your patron, essentially. You can only do that once per long rest. Perfectly fine. Then Mystic Arcanums, they're back, baby. An Eldritch Master is you can now use your Magical Calling feature, and you gain all of your expended Pact Magic spell slots whenever you do so. Yeah, it's whatever. Okay. Oh god, the invocations now. Agonizing Blast now lets you choose which Warlock cantrip benefits from the invocation. This end step now requires a 5th level or higher. Okay. Beach Beast is gone. Speak with Animals is now on the Warlock spell list. Cast as Ritual. Devil Sight now works in Dim Light as well as Darkness. Eldritch Mind has been imported. Eldritch Sight is gone since Detect Magic is now on the Warlock spell list and can be cast as a ritual. Eldritch Smite has been imported. Spear now lets you choose what Warlock cantrip is thing. Eyes of the Roomkeeper has been removed, and Comprehend Languages is now on the Warlock spell list. Favor of the Chain Master has been cut in favor of importing Chain Master from Tasha's. Fiendish Vigor is no longer requires you to roll a die when casting False Life. Instead, you gain the maximum number of temporary hit points. Okay, that's cool. I like that. That makes this way better. Not great, but better. Gaze of Two Minds works on any willing creature, not just humanoids. To cast a spell in the creature space, you must be within 60 feet of each other. Gifted the Depths has been imported. Eldritch Mind imported. Investment of the Chain Master has been imported. Lessons of the first one can now be taken more than once. I don't know what that does. Life Drinker now lets you choose to deal Necrotic, Psychic, or Radiant, and its healing is connected to your hit dice. We'll have to look at that. Master of Myriad Forms now requires 5th level, not 15th. One with Shadows now lets you cast invisibility without spell slot when you're in Dim Light or Darkness. That's cool. Otherworldly Leap now requires you to be level 2 instead of level 9. Yeah, because the jump spell was way too powerful for, a level 2 character to have to begin with. And then Pact of the Blade, Chain, and Tome are now invocations. Of course, they have their own things, and apparently Pact of the Tome gives you a 1st level spell slot. That's cool. Thirsting Blade is now a new thing. Visions of Distant Realms is now 9th level instead of 15th. Whispers to the Grave is now 7th instead of 9th. Okay, just to quickly go over these weird, agonizing things, or the Warlock cantrips, I should say, is whenever you gain a Warlock level, you can change which of your damaging Warlock cantrips benefit from this invocation. So it's no longer just Eldritch Blast that adds your spellcasting modifier to these things. So, Spear increases by 10 feet, or, yeah, whatever. Which Eldritch Spear was actually changed, because it used to just double the range, right? Its range increases by a number of feet equal to 30 times your Warlock level. Oh, that's nice. You have Eldritch Mind. Oh, you have advantage on con saving throws. That's nice. Then Eldritch Smite. Gaze of Two Minds. The Depths Protectors. Right, it's a name. Oh, right, this weird thing. Investment. Cast Find Familiar. Granted creature the following benefits. All these weird things. This is the first one. What's this? I don't remember this. You receive knowledge from an elder entity. You choose... Oh, that lacks prerequisites. Oh. Right, so this is basically just a free feat. Cool. Anyways, to the packs. As a bonus action, you can trace arcane sigils in the air to conjure up a pack weapon in your hand, simple or martial. Until the bond ends, you have proficiency with the weapon. You can use its mastery properties. Oh, that's cool. And spellcasting focus. When you attack, you can use a charisma as the attack and damage rolls instead of strength or dex. It deals necrotic, psychic, or radiant damage or its normal damage. Your bound with a weapon ends if you use the bonus action again, or if the weapon is more than 5 feet of you for a minute or more. If you die, then if a conjured weapon disappears when the bond ends. weird. Is improved packed weapon still a thing? It should be. Then pack to the chain. Same. Why can you summon a slad tadpole? That just makes me uncomfortable. Anyways, this is basically how it worked beforehand. Uh, this Stitching Strand Shadows. Kane's Eldritch Magic, cantrips and rituals. Choose 2 first level spells. I have the ritual tag and 3 cantrips, you know, same old, same old. You gain 1 first level spell slot. Once you expend it, you can't gain another from this feature until you... Okay, so you basically have an extra spell slot. That's kind of cool. I like that. So it's sad that's first level. Yeah, other than that, that's still the same. Thirsting Blade, still needed. Oh, except it gives you another attack after a certain point. That's pretty cool. Vision's Distance Realm. So, you can't have a magical weapon, though, anymore. Because you, with Pact of... Oh, skip past it. Where is it? Pact of the Tome? Pact of the Blade. You conjure a packed weapon in your hand. Oh, no, or create a bond with a magical weapon you touch. Never mind, I'm crazy. Archfey. Patron spell list now lets you have spells always prepared and includes Misty Step. Ooh, so good. Step of the phase now just Misty Step and lets you... Oh, yeah, we should go over this. Damn you for being better. So then, Steps of the Fae. Your patron bestows the ability for you to cast Misty Step without expending a spell slot number of times equal to your Charisma modifier. You gain all uses when you finish a long rest. In addition, whenever you cast that spell, you can choose one of the following effects. You can either, immediately after you teleport, choose a creature within 10 feet of you. It regains 1d10 temporary hit points. Then Taunting. Creatures within 5 feet of you, your space, the space you left, must succeed a Wisdom save, or have a disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you. Then, yet again, at 6th level, you get more things. You get Disappearing Step, which you have the invisible condition until the start of your next turn, or until you make an attack roll or cast a spell. Or Dreadful Step. Creatures within 5 feet of the space you left, or the space you appear in, your choice, must succeed a Wisdom save, or they take 2d10 psychic damage. Wow. Then Beguiling Defenses now reacts to you taking damage. Which, other than that, it's same old, same old. And Bewitching Magic. Yet again, your patron bestows the ability to weave your magic with teleportation immediately after casting an enchantment or illusion spell, using an action and a spell slot. You can cast Misty Step as a part of the same action without expending a spell slot. You are a bitch to deal with. You teleport all over the place. That is what this subclass is. I love it. I may actually want to play an Archfey now. Anyways. Celestial Patron. Always prepared. Celestial Resistance now works with Magical Cunning. I don't remember what Celestial Resistance did. Other than that, you're still healing and dealing radiant and fire damage. What is this? You gain temporary hit points whenever your Magical Cunning feature or finish short rest. Oh, okay, you just gain temporary hit points. Okay. Yeah. So, all in all, this is still the same thing. You have your weird Healy support lock. Then Fiend. It's updated. Updated pack list, which we'll look at that. Dark One's Blessing now has someone else's enemy. So yeah, you still have to be within 10 feet for Dark One's Blessing to go off, but you don't have to kill it, which is, you know, slightly better, I guess. Dark One's Own Luck can be used once per roll. Then Hurl Through Hell now has the incapacitated condition while hurling through the lower planes. Yeah, this used to be like 10d10, right? Now it's just 8. Anyways, so the new spell list, Burning Hands, same. Scorching Rays, Suggestion, I believe those are the same. I believe these are the same. No, I think this spell looks exactly the same. We already kind of went over this. Then Dark One's Own Luck. You call on your Fiendish Patron. Whenever you make an ability check or saving throw, you can add a d10. You can do so after seeing the initial roll, but before any of it occurs. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your spellcasting modifier. That's a new. That's also pretty cool. And then Hurl Through Hell got some changes, but they're pretty self-explanatory. Then the Great Old One. New spell list. Awaken Mind now lets you create two-way telepathic communication. Psychic Spells is a new 3rd level 3 feature. New things. Eldritch Hex. Great Thrall now gives you Summon Aberration. With additional properties. Okay, so what are we looking at? Psychic Spell. I'm not going to go through all this because yeah, I'm pretty pressed for time right now. So, Awakened Mind, same thing, except it's now 2-way. It's no longer 1-way. Psychic Spells. Whenever you cast a Warlock spell that deals damage, you can change its type to Psychic. In addition, whenever you cast a Warlock spell that's an enchantment or illusion, you can do so without verbal or somatic components. Very cool. I mean, it's pretty okay, really. Not great. Awakened Mind, Wisdom. Yeah, just disadvantage on attack rolls with someone you use Awakened Mind on. Thought Shield. Oh yeah, people can't read your mind. You have resistance to psychic damage, and whenever a creature deals psychic damage to you, they take the same amount. Same old. Eldritch Hex, though. Your alien patron gives you a powerful curse that allows you to have this Hex spell prepared. Whenever you cast Hex and choose an ability, the target also has a disadvantage on saving throws of the same ability for the duration of the spell. That's really good. Okay, yeah, that's really good. And then create Thrall. Do you always have summon Aberration? When you cast a spell, you can modify it so it doesn't require concentration. That's great. If you do so, the spell's duration becomes a minute for that casting, and when summoned, the aberration has a number of temporary hit points equal to your warlock level plus your charisma modifier. Pretty good. In addition, the first time the aberration hits a creature under the effect of your hex, the aberration deals extra psychic damage to the target equal to bonus damage of that spell. Excuse me. Great Old One is now playable. Hooray. Then Wizard. I don't think Wizard got any huge changes. Arcane Recovery is now back at 1st level. Makes sense. You can change out cantrips during a long rest. Makes sense. Spellbook is absorbed into the spellcasting feature. Yeah, because it's an arcane focus. Scholar replaces academic and offers expertise in one skill from the list. Memorize spell is a new feature. Rather than a spell, allows you to prepare a spell. Yeah. I don't know why they had the fucking... I don't know why they were making these things spells. I really don't know why they did that. And Spell Mastery returns to 18th level. And Signature Spells returned to 20th level. Oh, as well as you can no longer, it's only action spells, which is, I mean, whatever. So Wizard, other than that, didn't really get a whole lot of changes to their base class, of course, but they do get expertise, in something like Arcana, which is cool. You know, actually makes the wizard smarter. Uh, I already skipped the subclasses. So, the Abjurer. Uh, now gives you one Abjuration spell in your spellbook whenever you gain access to a new level of spell slots in the class. Arcane Ward now requires you to spend a spell slot to create it and allows you to expend a spell slot without casting a spell to restore it, which is great. And then Spellbreaker replaces Improved Abjuration. We'll go over that. Spellbreaker, you always have Dispelled Magic prepared, and you can cast it as a bonus action and add your proficiency bonus to the checks. Pretty nifty. Then the Diviner. Yes, you heard me correct. The Diviner, or Divination. Same old, which we're going to be seeing this every time. You get a spell of this, school of magic, in this case, divination, whenever you gain access to a new level spell slot. Then Third Eye is now a bonus action rather than action, and it allows you to cast See Invisibility spell instead of having to choose between seeing the invisible or seeing into the ethereal plane. Finally, the Incapacitate condition no longer shuts off this feature. That's all that they did to it. No, they... Oh, this is just the changes on the invisible condition. And the Evoker, which starts down here. The design notes is same old. Get a new spell each time you level up and get a new spell slot. Potent Cantrip moves to level 3. And then Spell Sculptor is now a level 6. And few spells at lower levels can benefit from this, and so that's why they moved it up. So Potent Cantrip, it's, yeah, same old. They just swapped two abilities around, and again, yeah. Then the Illusionist, same old with the spells. Malleable Illusions now bonus action. Illusionary Self is now can be reused by expending a spell slot of 2nd level or higher. And then Illusionary Reality has been clarified, noting that it cannot deal damage or give any conditions. Just clarification, essentially, is what they did to these subclasses. And then spells, which that'll be another time. For now, that is all I have to say on the classes for this, because this video is already an hour long. Yeah. Also, what are your guys' opinion on it? Tell me. And yeah, next time.